Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone, especially to the panels. Welcome to my final year project presentation. My name is Umi Hajidah binti Abu Samad, a final year student in Bachelor Science of Biology. The title of my thesis is The Diversity and Abundance of Suborder Brachycera, Diptera from selected oil palm plantation Bukit Perah, Banting, Selangor. And I am supervised by Dr. Siti Khairiah binti Muhammad Hatta. Moving on to the background of study, oil palm plantations can provide habitat for a diverse range of insect species, including both native and non-native species. With little disturbance, it sustains the greatest variety of airborne insects, including dipterans. One of the important suborders of Diptera is Brachycera. Brachycera have 8 or fewer antennal segments and modified larval heads and mouthparts. There are two problem statements. First, palm oil production always portrayed as a major cause of deforestation, biodiversity loss, and climate change, leading to widespread negative perceptions about oil palm plantations and their impacts on ecosystem and communities. Second, Diptera species in Malaysia, especially in Bukit Perah oil palm plantation, are poorly studied, making it difficult to determine their roles and habitats. The objectives of this study are to determine the diversity and abundance of Brachycera at selected sampling sites in oil palm plantation Bukit Perah Banting, and to evaluate the distribution of Brachycera from 3 different plots of oil palm plantation, namely the edge, the middle, and the inner plot. For methodology, we started with Malay strap installation, where traps were set up in 3 different places, moving from the edge of the forest to the inner of it, followed by sample collection from Malay strap bottle after a month of unsupervised traps. Then, family classification of Brachycera samples were determined by morphology and physical appearance under a microscope. And lastly, statistical analysis. The indices were measured are Shannon-Winner index, evenness index, Margalef index, and Krukel-Swally index. For the overall results, a total of 105 morphospecies were identified from the 22 families with 2,088 individuals. Floridae is the family with the largest representation, including 857 individuals or 41.04% of the total. Subsequently, the Dolichophoridae represent 90.59%, then followed by the Musidae contribute 10.30%. Chlorofidea, Ulididae, and Tabanidae have the lowest representation at the research site, with each group comprising 0.05%. According to Namaki Kamane 2021, Diptera families with the greatest biological diversity worldwide is Floridae. Since the start of the 21st century, global warming has caused favorable summer weather, which increased Dolichophoridae numbers in 2015 survey. Musidae larvae live in rotting vegetation, dry or wet ground, insect or bird nest, fresh or stagnant water, and droppings, which supported the results why these families recorded highest representation. Meanwhile, the Ulididae family builds ground-level nests, making their eggs and offspring vulnerable to predators, making Ulididae is among the families with the fewest individuals recorded. Next, results for abundance of Brachycera at 3 study sites. The inner trap recorded the greatest collection with 2,071 individuals from 20 families and 94 morphospecies, followed by middle trap with 11 individuals from 5 families and 10 morphospecies. Meanwhile, edge trap recorded lowest sample with only 6 individuals from 4 families and 5 morphospecies. The inner trap was positioned in a remote area and was exposed to both abiotic and biotic factors. These factors include direct sunlight exposure, the presence of a nearby ditch, the availability of understory vegetation, and the closure of the trap by a poultry house, all of which can impact the number of Brachycera. The middle trap exhibit lower availability of both abiotic and biotic factors than the inner trap, and the trap was set up along the pathway of palm trees at some distance from understory vegetation. Meanwhile, the edge trap, it was close to the main road which is used by human. According to Knaden et al. 2022, human activities have greatly impacted many insect populations. Next, focusing on results species diversity, evenness, and richness of Brachycera. The inner trap had the highest diversity index with a value of H equal to 1.74. This value indicates the greatest species diversity, as higher H values correspond to increased species diversity. The inner trap again exhibit the highest evenness index with value E equal to 0.9449, indicating a more uniform distribution of individuals among species since, according to Maguren 1998, when the value of evenness index is almost 1, it indicates that the community has a very high level of evenness. Lastly, with R value equal to 2.488, the inner trap had the highest Margalef index, which meant it had the most species. A high R value means there are more species in the community, taking into account the sample size. The Kruskal-Wallis test shows that there is a significant difference, which is p-value less than 0.05 in the distribution of Brachycera among the landscapes. Pairwise comparison displays the significance of the combination of trap 3 and trap 2 and trap 3 and trap 1 as the p-value less than 0.05. Meanwhile, trap 1 and trap 2 show no significant difference since p-value more than 0.05. From this study, we can conclude that the study found that Brachycera species are more diverse and abundant in the inner plot compared to the middle and edge plots. Their diversity and abundance are influenced by abiotic and biotic factors like water availability, animal feces, understory vegetation, and weather. Suborder Brachycera should be preserved and protected in order to guarantee their continued existence in the environment since they are crucial to nature and maintain the ecosystem. For better future research, there are 2 recommendations that can be made. First, place Malay traps strategically across the study area to maximize coverage and minimize bias. Next, extending the duration of sampling and expanding the sampling area to gather lots of information that can serve as raw data. And here's the reference list for this study. That's all from me. Thank you.